Welcome to the future of work. It looks a little different for everyone these days. So we asked a bunch of people who study key themes emerging in office culture and specialize in building positive work environments. What exactly do the best places to work do that sets them apart?
Is the people over the process.
People feel more valued.
Your people feel supported.
People
are at the very center of the future of work.
This is Back to Basics. Being a company people want to work for won't happen by accident. It's so easy to get lost in the day-to-day responsibilities of work. But these efforts start by taking a step back to view what is most important to you as a company.
Core values are incredibly important in establishing a human workplace. They are a way of communicating for the business as an entity. You're communicating to your external stakeholders, whether that's a shareholder or a customer or a client, as well as communicating to your individual employees. What does the business value?
Humans have an amazing capacity to have these little antennae. And we put these antennae up when we find ourselves in a new scenario. They help us understand our surroundings, make meaning of our surroundings. And so in the workplace, core values help us quickly understand what's important here, what matters, what can I do to be recognized, what can I see in others to recognize, what is the culture really? And those antennae generally don't lead us wrong.
I am fanatically passionate about core values because core values set the tone and actually set the intention for the organization's culture. So it is a communication to employees of what kind of behaviors do we value here, right? Which sets a tone for how people talk to each other, whether or not they can speak up, what kind of behaviors they can exhibit. It is so important. And it's a big process, as it should be. If you do this right, you get lots of stakeholders and you really think through, like, are your core values a description of who you are, or are they a description of who you want to be? I have a preference for the latter.
A democratic approach to assessing your core values lets your people know their opinions matter. You can create a company-wide survey or set aside time for breakout groups to discuss and list out values. You'll see patterns emerge, and the overlap or frequency of a response will help you narrow the results down.
If I was part of an organization that was new and had this passion around a key driver for us is going to be creating a human workplace, I would say, let's pool all of our thoughts on, one, what we think that means, two, how we think we get there, and then start to collate that into how does that translate into work? What needs to exist here and be true no matter what part of the business you're in as we think about growth and scale, et cetera. That means that everybody else has to be in line with how we collaborate, how we get work done, and how do we do that? And then you can start kind of cascading from there.
The other part of core values that are absolutely critical is how they connect individuals to the business and individuals to one another. And I know a lot of businesses will say core values, but they don't necessarily live by it. And people want to roll their eyes at mission statements and core values because they're just business jargon that get investors or are talent attraction tools. But that's a wasted opportunity, in my opinion, because when you have a core value that is something that the business as an entity truly holds at its core, it's an opportunity for employees to say, this isn't just my job, it's a vocation.
I think it's a little bit about kind of getting down to the basics and removing all of the jargon, all the hyperbole around what is a human workplace and saying, look, if for me that boils down to a place where I feel respected, a place where I have a strong sense of belonging, a place where I can do excellent work and have career development, all of those things, you can start to kind of suss out where the values are in that.
For a more human approach at work to take root and grow, you need to plant it in quality values. Over the rest of this series, we're going to talk about the water, light, and air this plant needs to thrive.